Meet Sarah. She is a software engineer who writes code so clean and efficient that it regularly shaves millions off her company's server costs. Management notices. To reward her high output, they give her a promotion to engineering manager. 6 months later, Sarah is working 60-hour weeks, and her team's productivity has dropped. She hasn't written a line of code in weeks. She was the best at her previous job, but lacks the specific skills required for this new one. Sarah's struggle stems from a systemic corporate habit rather than a loss of talent. This is the Peter Principle, the observation that in a hierarchy, employees are promoted based on success in their previous role until they reach a position where they are no longer competent. The impulse to reward our best workers by moving them up the ladder often places them in roles they aren't equipped to handle, reducing the overall competence of the management layer. This pattern repeats across the corporate landscape. In 2018, economists published a study in the Quarterly Journal of Economics. They analyzed the performance and promotion tracks of sales workers across 214 different firms. This chart shows their first finding. There's a strong positive correlation between a person's sales numbers and promotion rate. Companies consistently make high-performing salespeople managers. However, data shows these top-tier salespeople consistently underperform once taking on management responsibilities. The study highlights a specific reality of the workplace. Competence in one role does not guarantee competence in another. The traits of a brilliant individual contributor, like closing a deal, rarely overlap with the traits of an effective leader, which involve resource allocation and people development. By looking strictly at past performance, organizations use our roadmap that fails to predict future leadership capability. Organizations remain blind to this data because of 3 specific systemic flaws. First is the meritocracy illusion. Companies equate doing good work with the ability to lead others doing that work, even when the tasks are unrelated. This diagram illustrates the halo effect. A high opinion of someone's current technical skills leads management to overestimate their abilities in unrelated areas, like management. Finally, once a promotion fails, the sunk cost fallacy takes over. Because demoting someone is politically difficult, leadership often leaves the struggling manager in place rather than admitting the mistake. All of these factors lead to Peter's plateau. This is a point where employees stop advancing because they have reached their level of incompetence. This creates a blockage that slows down talented employees below them and prevents new ideas from moving up. The organization ends up paying premium salaries for a layer of management that struggles to make effective decisions. The Peter Principle acts as an organizational design flaw that can be reverse engineered. Companies can avoid this by evaluating candidates based on the specific requirements of the target role, rather than their performance in their current one. This diagram shows the use of dual career tracks. Instead of making management the only path to a higher salary, companies can create a parallel track for technical experts. This allows top talent to increase their status without being forced into management roles they may not be suited for. Organizations can also decouple rewards from titles, offering raises and prestige as alternatives to a role change. This challenges the standard assumption of what corporate success looks like. It raises the question, is the best reward for doing a job well simply being moved into a job you might do poorly? Look at your own career path. You may find you have already moved away from the work you are best at, or perhaps you have already reached your own level of incompetence.